I've helped thousands of children unlock their special gifts and talents. But I'm convinced that our exam-crazed education system is still failing to spot the abilities of many children. I'm making it my mission to prove that brain training really works by showing you how I can go into any school and spot a seemingly ordinary child whose gifts are being missed. I'll train that child to do something they'll have no idea they can do. Can I make them brilliant? This week, I'm in London on the lookout for hidden abilities at St Clement's and St James Primary School. I'm not interested in the usual suspects. It's the children that seem to have a very good ability at getting an A grade straight off. The children I'm looking for have got an ability that's hidden. These 8 to 11-year-old children are at a critical stage of development. Their brains are buzzing with connections and they're still open to new ways of thinking. It's a perfect age to spot hidden gifts. Sometimes, if you don't fit into the kind of ordinary way of doing things through education, which is normally pen to paper, listening, writing, you're going to go straight under the radar of any test. Those are the ones that can fall by the wayside, and that's what I come here to find. Over the next 3 days, I'm going to be looking for one ordinary child to take on an exciting journey of intensive brain training. Organising the children to construct something will tell me a lot. I have a big challenge for these teams today. I'm looking to see who can think creatively, who's good at problem solving, who's got the bright ideas. Are you ready?
Yes!
Well, let's get going then. My first challenge is for these 3 teams to build a cardboard house around their teacher and solve an anagram that reveals the name of each home. We've got a lot of action going on extremely quickly here. Good organisation, but it was like a joint sort of effort all at once. But it's not just fun. It gives me a window into how a child thinks and learns. A chap right in front of the door who sorted out the letters very quickly, he's a verbal thinker. He's not interested in the hands-on bit of the challenge. He's the kind of person that learns more by seeing things, reading things. Another of the people in the group here is more interested in the kinesthetic, hands-on problem-solving, which means instead of thinking about it, he works it through by feeling his way through the problem. Completely different strategy.
Do we have to change costumes? Do we have to change something green? Yes!
I'm also on the lookout for creative thinking, so I've asked the children to write a letter to their teacher explaining what makes this house perfect for them. Can you tell me what's going on here?
This is her book. She likes books of red stuff, and she's very fiery teacher, and she's a really nice teacher.
Okay, smashing, great. One of the children here has thought of all the different things you can associate with red. Red handbags, red clothes, red house, red flowers, anything. The others didn't really catch on as quick, so we've got a divergent thinker here, somebody who's easily able to think outside the box. The house building has been revealing, but before I can decide who would most benefit from my training, I have a lot more research on my hands. And that means talking to teachers as well as children.
The brothers stood paralysed with fear.
I find, especially when it comes to handwriting and spelling, first impressions can often be deceptive.
As they looked back, they saw the abomination disappearing into the distance.
Goodness, such a lot of big words in there. It's good, but why do you do that?
Because it sounds really good.
It sounds terrific. Playing games can tell me a lot about a child's skills, and I've noticed this boy. Like in just a few moments, he'd learned how to get his stance right, how to actually get his feet right. He had to think about all that. That's called self-directed learning, and he was starting to apply that. Children who are good at art can easily be overlooked, yet artistic ability can be a great indicator of hidden gifts. You've got your own style already. Did somebody teach you to do those different angles?
Not really. I just tried to do the angles myself.
Yeah, well, you've got a good grip on it. This child seems to have a unique way of seeing the world. I've already spotted a raft of interesting gifts at this primary school. Now I've got to whittle it down to just 5 children to take with me onto the next stage. I couldn't fail to notice this child, Tommy. I saw lots of evidence of a very bright mind with bundles of energy. And I think sometimes in the classroom he's got a tendency to be a bit of a trickster because of that, and that can be a problem. What has caught my eye about this little boy, Luke, is that he's really interested in exploring new words, in his work. He writes really mature stories, very interesting themes in there. All that natural ability could be so easily masked because he's got unruly handwriting. But he also has a social side to him. I'm wondering if we just focus all the time on the writing, if we might not be missing something else. Then I've spotted Abby. She wants to make herself heard, but I'm not sure she's going about it in the right way. I've seen a couple of instances where she does take the lead, and I think we could have some hidden leadership ability in there. I'm also very taken with Cairo, though I can see how she gets distracted sometimes. And in the classroom, all her lessons, she's always at the centre there, making sure that she's noticed, getting involved with everything. I think she's also very imaginative. She's, interested in her work. But at the moment, I think there's a little danger that she's becoming focused on the friendship part of her schooling rather than thinking about her academic study. A young lady called Aaliyah, one of the things she's got to learn in the classroom is to put her hand up just a little bit more and not be afraid to share her ideas. She's a great thinker at a very deep level. She also thinks in the abstract. That means that she's very, very good at art, but verbally, in the classroom, she's quite subdued. So all things considered, I think that my final 5 in this school are definitely going to be Tommy, Aaliyah, Luke, Cairo and Abby. Children like these can easily slip through the net in the current education regime. I believe if we can get them out of the classroom, they'll have a real chance to shine. I've got to work out who to take on an intensive brain training journey to achieve something brilliant, but I can only choose one child.
Ow.
Oh. We're here, we're finally here.
Just one of them is going to learn how to harness their brain, learning techniques that you can try with your child. I need to figure out which of these bright minds would benefit most from working with me. So I want you to let your imagination go wild and think how many things you could do with this creature, okay? First up, a creativity challenge.
You can use it as a back scratcher.
Pretending it's a pet and doing its fur. Pillow.
I'm interested in how the children think, not what they know.
Hang glider.
The most creative minds are uninhibited, making random, even eccentric connections between things. Good, okay. Cairo loves music and has a great imagination, but her creative mind can go off at a tangent.
She's a bit loud.
Quick-witted.
Eager.
Creative energy comes out in many ways. It doesn't always sit easily with work in the classroom.
Cairo can be a bit of a flibber to gibbet. Her mind's half on one thing, something else catches her attention, needs to keep focused.
Sometimes I send notes to my friends about what we're going to do in the playground.
Children like Cairo remind me of a Catherine wheel, full of sparks with only the centre point still. The challenge is to stop them from spinning off.
You can brush it.
Good one.
Model or something. I can use it for a rucksack.
This one's my bag.
This one's your bag? Okay, I'm interested in how many ideas the children can come up with and their originality. A dancing partner.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
A parachute.
And for me, the wilder the better.
A trampoline.
Lots of creativity going on in this challenge, people coming up with great ideas, but really the clear winner in this, in terms of originality, has to go to Luke. I mean, trampolining on the cheetah, I thought, was top marks there. When it comes to writing ability, Luke is 9, going on 21.
Luke would like to be the next Harry Potter writer.
I like writing about made-up things and monsters and stuff like that.
A child with a vivid imagination can get frustrated when others don't keep up.
The area for improvement for Luke would be in the way he interacts with other children, very headstrong, wants his ideas heard. Needs to learn a few more skills of diplomacy.
I want to see how Luke expresses himself as a team member before I can work out if he needs my help. Next, a classic thinking puzzle. I want the children to figure out which one of these shapes is the odd one out and why. It's how they think about the problem that interests me, not whether they get it right or wrong. Tell me what you're thinking.
These are like the same shape, so...
While Abby's focusing on the shapes, Tommy thinks the answer lies with the orange balls.
That one's going down,
Yes.
and these ones are going straight.
Right. In fact, to find the odd one out, you've got to look at both the shapes and the orange balls. But so far, no one's yet made the connection.
That if it was standing up and the balls and the two balls were one there and one there, then they would all be the same.
Fantastic. Really well done. She might not be able to explain exactly why, but Aaliyah's got the right idea. This puzzle is actually about symmetry. If you draw a line in between the balls on these shapes, it leaves two symmetrical halves. If you do the same with the blue one, the resulting parts are not identical. Most of the other children were finding that a bit challenging and would focus on either the shape, the curve of a shape, in relation to a straight-sided shape, or they'd look at where the balls were situated. But Aaliyah cracked it. She was able to deal with both at the same time. With this kind of smart mind at work, what's holding Aaliyah back?
1, 2, 1.
She's got great thinking ability and can express herself artistically really well, but in the classroom, she's underperforming.
Aaliyah is a little bit daydreamy and you don't feel that she's fully concentrating. When she is focused, she can come up with some great ideas.
But she finds putting her hand up and sharing these thoughts really difficult.
Expressing herself at the moment is a bit of a problem.
And that's just how individual gifts get lost in our system. It can be hard for parents to know how to help. Go, go, go! My final challenge is problem solving, and there's no better way to get the brain cells working than an emergency situation. I've told the group that they're on a plane that has just crash landed.
Go, go, go!
Their first task is to locate emergency supplies. But there's a catch. The supplies are in a no-go zone, and they'll have to use hooks to retrieve them.
Just throw it and hook it up somewhere around here, then try pull it down and then hook it up.
I'm looking for the child with the brightest ideas to crack this challenge.
First, try get those bags. Oh, I nearly got it. This, you guys! Use it! Use this.
Immediately, Tommy's firing on all cylinders. Tommy's quick-witted and full of energy, but that's got a downside.
Well, I'm a mischief cheeky boy.
Very enthusiastic, yeah, but it's hard work.
It's like the biggest chatterbox that we have in the class.
Sometimes I might get in a little bit of teensy-weensy trouble.
Lively kids like this can tread a fine line between quick wit and class clown. That's something to watch closely as they move up into secondary school.
Do you mean to hold it up?
Is that the best way, to just kind of keep doing it that way, or try another way?
All of us need to hold one.
The children need to work out how to spread the strings evenly and control the hook.
And like hang it on there.
Abby's got complete control here. She's the one with all the ideas, and she has got the problem sussed.
Tommy, you're supposed to keep it on there.
Abby has strong thoughts and opinions, and she's not afraid to voice them.
Sometimes I think that I'm a bit too bossy, and like some people don't like that.
Abby can be bossy with her younger sister.
Come on then, Jess.
She never, ever stops being bossy to me.
You can say do this, do that, and that might get on your nerves.
Where some see bossiness, I see signs of strong leadership ability.
She's a strong force in the classroom because Abby, she can speak her mind.
Go on, Kyra.
So she will take the lead.
It's down soon. Do you know when you have 7, what do you have to do?
Like any other gift, leadership needs to be managed. A child who's written off as bossy can become frustrated and lose motivation.
My bum!
Here, use a stick, then try.
The kids have just 2 minutes left to fish out their supplies,
Elia, step forward a bit.
but they'll have to work as a team to do it.
To lower it down.
I'm seeing that Aaliyah is happy to take instructions, although she does understand the problem solving.
Oh, it was close, it's close.
I've got it through. I've got it through this. Yeah, you need to take.
Although less forceful than some, Luke is embracing the teamwork.
Got it. Oh!
Well done.
I thought that it was really imaginative because I've never heard of anything like that before, so it was really different.
Normally, I would be playing with my toys upstairs in my own room.
Problem solving in a new environment like this can really fire children's imaginations and stimulate their brains. I've seen for myself that these children are a lot more remarkable than any school reports might suggest. But I can only work with one of them. It's time for me to get back to base and figure out who could benefit the most from my brain training. Abby, I think, has learnt a lot from the challenges. She's really come out as a very, very strong leader and got really good ability with the maths. I don't think she needs me to go on with her any further. Luke has got fantastic writing ability. That is his gift. At the Outdoor Pursuit Centre, he showed himself to also be quite able to step in there and, you know, get his ideas across when it came to problem solving. I've not really got any concerns or reason to take him forward because I think he's doing perfectly fine. My thinking is, right now, is that Cairo has taken herself more seriously in the challenges. You know, she really has got in there. Nothing really fazed her at all. And I think that as long as she now continues to focus, I think that she really is on a very good road to success. So I don't think at this stage I want to take her through. Aaliyah has got fantastic ideas, and although I saw glimpses of this, you know, her ability to come out of herself when she was actually in the activities and challenges, that was great. But I think there's more needs to come out. That's not sufficient right now. There's a lot more to work on there. That needs to be really taken to the next stage. And Tommy, great leader, you know, helps his friends out. But is he looking after him? No, at this stage. He's more interested in looking after his friends. And I think he's got this high energy. He needs to think about how he's going to direct his learning. Yeah, he's got a lot going for him, this little boy. But I just think at this stage he needs to know more about himself and me to tell him that so that he can make the most of those abilities. So all things considered, I've narrowed it down to Tommy and Aaliyah. If I'm going to make either of these kids brilliant, I need to know that both of them are understood and supported at home. It's time to meet the parents.
He's just so lively.
100 mile an hour kid he is, yeah. I think sometimes he forgets, like he does at home, that there's another 20 plus children in that class.
I'll say she's a happy child. She's sensitive to people. That's something I'm aware of. She's quite sensitive. She picks up on your feelings in a way.
I've invited both families to the country for a picnic to see if I can find out a bit more about how they interact. But things are not always as they seem.
You need to stop eating because these sheep are in the wrong field. You need to get them in that field, in that pen. You need to go.
I know. He's joking.
No, we're not. We've got to get the sheep in the pen.
Leo, you coming?
It's a perfect opportunity for me to observe them problem-solving together.
That's right.
Red sauce!
Come this way.
Come round. Hit us on him.
Immediately, I can see that Aaliyah, sister Aisha, and mum Andrea are all pulling in different directions.
No, Leah, don't run at them.
Wrong way.
Tommy's mum Lisa and sister Molly are seeing the funny side, while Dad Freddie is using his real-life experience as a rat catcher.
Hold that gate in that line there, and we bring them round here, everyone straight
Oh,
to
you
the
mean
pen.
that loose gate?
Exactly.
Oh, I see.
And Tommy's following his lead.
But you two have to stay there and then the gate will be there.
I'll stand over there and you've got to herd them round.
Aaliyah's family have realised if they don't work together, they'll never get these pesky sheep into that pen.
Aaliyah, come in a little bit, just in a field. Mum, you're going to have to come in.
Remember, I'm the brains.
Oh, yeah.
You're the brawn.
Tommy's very much in on the action here, but you can almost see that directed learning at work. Even though he's very distracted with other things, he's trying desperately, and that's the good thing about Tommy. He does self-direct his learning. In other words, he checks what he's doing and thinks, actually, that's a better way to think. I'll go that way.
You do them, I'll do these.
Tommy, don't move.
They're going to make a rush for him. Okay. No. Is that not attached?
I think they might just pull this off here.
Lee, come back a bit.
Because they've actually all listened to each other now, working together.
The other side. Stay there,
You can see that Aaliyah can take instructions very well, and she's doing a little bit like she did at the Outdoor Activity Centre. She's really thinking about things. She doesn't say a lot, but it's all happening. She's listening, taking everything in. Very quick study, very quick learner.
Follow the leader. Mum, you kind of got to keep them in here.
And with teamwork, they've cracked it.
Shut the gate, son. Shut the gate.
Back with Tommy's family, it's all gone a bit pear-shaped. The sheep have escaped.
Oh, we're just rubbish at sheep herding. I promise I'll never eat shepherd's pie again.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun. Hard work, but fun.
Hard work, but fun. Sheep herding has told me everything I need to know. There wasn't a lot of communication going on right at the very beginning. It was difficult for Aaliyah to really even get any input in there. But eventually they started to try and work together. When it comes to Tommy's family, the father takes charge. And then, of course, because this guy's high energy, he's saying, excuse me, I know that you may be experiencing this, but actually I've got some ideas. And what was brilliant about Mum is she said, what is that you want to then work with? And she brings his ideas in. So there's a lot of different brainstorming going on all the way through the challenge. A noble tussle with those animals there, all right, by both sets of families. But I have no doubt which of these children most needs my help.
Hello.
Good morning, Aaliyah. It's Bernadette here. I've got some very, very good news for you. You have been picked. How do you feel?
I feel excited, thank you.
What I've seen in you is a great thinker. You've got great ideas, but I want to work with you now on brain training, which will really help you communicate your ideas. Do you feel really happy?
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay.
And I will see you soon. Bye.
Well, I feel so excited. I just want to go outside and run a bit.
Aaliyah is very focused in the classroom. She wants to succeed. She's very switched on. She's always listening and focusing. But just look at that. That body language right there is just one very strong indication that she's thinking very deeply, but she's not going to say anything. She's actually physically blocking her mouth. Now, I want to change that body language there because I want to change it from this to this. I need to get to the root of Aaliyah's hang-up. I've noticed you're a little bit quiet in the classroom sometimes, yeah? I don't see you putting your hand up a lot. What happens there?
Because sometimes I don't really know the question, or I can't pronounce it properly.
Sometimes when you've got a brain that's working that fast, it's difficult to say what you mean. Yeah. To help her overcome this block, I want to harness Aaliyah's natural artistic ability with a special challenge. Are we up for that then?
Yeah.
So we'll take a famous painting and then you could research all about this painting, its history and how it was developed. You're then going to create your own version of that painting and then present that to other people. How do you feel about that?
A bit nervous, but I think I could try.
Big challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
You think you could handle it?
I think so.
I believe you can. But she's not going to present her work just anywhere. I've booked the National Gallery, a tall order for a child who finds speaking in public a real challenge. Well, that's the plan, but first she's got to convince her mum, Andrea, that she can really do it.
Well, Mum, I'm going to research a famous painting, and then I'm going to paint it in my own way. I'm going to put it in the gallery and then tell the people in the gallery about it.
Okay, that's a very large task. Are you confident about that, doing such a thing?
Yeah.
You are? You know what's going to be involved?
Yeah.
It's quite a lot of work.
Yes, there is a lot of work. Are you a little bit worried about this?
Yes, I am. And basically, she will be having to present in front of a number of people as well. And I'm a bit concerned about how she'll be able to handle that and be able to portray herself as well.
Okay. All right, so you're a little bit anxious about this?
Not a little. Yes, I'm anxious about it.
Yeah, but it is a big task to do. But I think she can do it. I think you can do it, yeah? I can see that Andrea's got misgivings. It will be a big challenge for her daughter, but I believe I can help her harness her brain power to rise to the event. All right, well, let's do it.
Okay.
It's straight down to work. Where else but in a gallery? I want you to look around you for a moment and take in what you see around you, just looking around. I need to transport her mind to the end of its journey by getting Aaliyah to visualise herself presenting her painting to a gallery full of people. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to close your eyes now. I want you to think about what you've seen in this room, the colours in the room, pictures. So you're painting a mental image now of the room. Paint that picture very finely, the fine details, making the colours as vivid as possible in your mind's eye. And then I want you to put yourself inside that picture. You are giving your presentation about your painting. It's a very magical thing about the mind, really, that it doesn't understand whether something's past, present, future, not bothered. It just sees an image of Aaliyah completing the task, achieving her goal. Imagine more clapping. Imagine the feeling that's giving you. And once the mind has that picture, it will never be erased. So she can now start working towards the goal. And take out your camera and take a snapshot of this very important, brilliant moment. Click. If you can help your child to visualise success when they've got a big challenge ahead of them, they're already on their way to achieving it. Okay? Feel good?
Yeah.
Great. Before Aaliyah can start work, I need to give her some tools.
All the letters.
I've noticed at the moment she does her work all over the house. I think what we need to do is organise some workspace that's yours. The brain loves habit and ritual. A dedicated space to do their homework in helps children focus and put their mind in the right state for learning. You can train the brain to get ready for homework. You know, children can learn how to get themselves prepped, sit down in one particular place and get on with it. And the trick to doing that is giving the brain a mental trigger. These triggers can be anything from personal objects to clothing. Lovely. Okay, so put that on the chair for a minute. Okay, because when you're working, you need to wear that. And the final touch is a photo taken in the gallery to remind Aaliyah how she saw success in her mind's eye. Great. Okay. Aaliyah's full of enthusiasm and has already chosen the painting she wants to interpret. Anything interesting?
Yeah.
That one there is a Renoir. So what do you like about this one?
Well, it looks like you can actually see, you can see a reflection of them in the sea. I like these kind of colours that they've been using.
Yeah, so nice and bright, aren't they?
Yeah.
Great. So is that your definite choice then for this, do you think?
Yeah.
All right then. The Skiff is a classic work by Renoir. Renoir. But she hasn't started her painting yet and doesn't know anything about him. With less than 2 months to go before her presentation, she's got to get going. Just think about how old it might be. So have a look through it, see what you might find.
So that he became popular for doing this painting.
Yes. The key to good learning is ownership. Aaliyah will take in far more if it interests her. She's got a new word with the River Seine, which is going to be important for her presentation, that she remembers that and where the River Seine is. She's not been to Paris, France, so she's doing a little picture in her mind that she can remember of the actual Eiffel Tower. So it's a little triangle written in red, plus the word written in red. She's going to remember it better, in fact 90% better than she would if she just kind of wrote it down from a book.
Okay,
all right, so you want to put Skiff down? Yeah. Using colours and symbols like this will help her brain remember at a much deeper level than just reading would. The visual images create dense pathways of connectivity in the brain. Looks a lot better now, doesn't it? It's not just a bunch of facts anymore. It's yours. Aaliyah's keen to start work on her version of the Renoir. But first, I've got to tackle her inability to express her ideas. There's no point in doing the painting if she can't present it.
The Eiffel Tower was coming in the front and the villages are at the back, but it looks like, the villages are kind of close to the shops. The village is here and the shop is there. And the Eiffel Tower
Aaliyah
is
clearly
like
finds it hard getting her ideas across, and even Mum, Andrea, struggles to help.
You going to tell me what that 57 means? Do you remember? You want to read the question again? Right?
I don't know it.
No, I don't know it, so you're going to explain it to me. Go ahead. The answer was 57. 57 what? Just verbally explain it to me.
It's definitely not a case that Aaliyah doesn't understand things or doesn't have great ideas. She does, but whenever it comes to sort of actually saying and speaking her mind, she gets a little bit shy, head goes down, don't really want to do that. And that's a shame, because I really, really want to train her to have a completely different view of how she articulates her ideas so that it's not so negative.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
When Aaliyah is dancing, she's in a different mode of thought.
That was good.
She really is able to articulate herself. She's in performance mode, so she feels confident. The key here to this child is really ensuring that she gets a method going here where she can transfer those skills which she has into a classroom situation or any situation where there's not music or dance involved. And I think I've got just the technique to do just that. Okay. It's Pierre, Auguste
Renoir.
Renoir. He was an impressionist painter, again.
Aaliyah
can benefit from brain training techniques that encourage left-right brain connectivity. He lived from 1841, when a person's quite literally stuck for words. What's happening is the right brain, which is really responsive to tone and words and ideas, doesn't get translated very quickly into left brain, which does all the processing to give it meaning. So you have a traffic jam.
On the river Seine.
But if you actually act points through and make them your own through little actions like this, so that facts become things that are symbols rather than just sounds or words, your learning will be increased because it's a much deeper level of learning.
Pierre-Auguste Renoir. He was one of the most impressionist painters.
Words, action and music encourage cross-brain thinking via a thick band of nerve fibres called the corpus callosum. But it takes practice.
Pierre-Auguste Renoir.
And I've chosen a particular kind of music to encourage cross-brain connectivity.
1841 till 1919.
You've probably heard of the Mozart effect, but it's not just Mozart. There's things like Bach, there's Baroque music, anything that has a nice rhythm to it that enables the right and left brain to really flow together nicely.
He used lots of rainbow colours and he challenged the past masters.
This is a breakthrough. The words are suddenly starting to flow.
Superb.
But what about the painting?
I'm feeling a bit scared of my painting because I might not get it correct. I'm worried about the colours that I use. I might accidentally want to change it, but I can't because the paints stay.
Aaliyah needs some help.
What's this?
That was just a drawing of someone that I haven't finished.
Perhaps professional artist Yusuf Nasser can inspire her to talk about her ideas and get them down on canvas.
Yeah. And on the white, look on the white.
She quickly loses her inhibitions.
How do you do reflections of people?
The image of this person in the water will be the reverse of the person. Some people just do some suggestions, like just brush strokes.
When I do my painting, is it alright if I can use this for the sea?
Yes, well.
Okay.
What about the sky, though?
For the sky, I'm going to do something different, but I don't know yet.
It's great to see Aaliyah talking so confidently to someone she hardly knows.
I wish I know what you think when you paint. Then I can copy you.
Back home, Aaliyah's painting is starting to take shape.
That feels nice, yeah.
We're really making progress. I've seen how others can help Aaliyah spark her ideas.
Pierre-Auguste Renoir.
But I still need to address the fact that Aaliyah is underperforming at school.
1841 to 1919.
To help her, single mum Andrea needs to keep in close contact with her daughter's teachers. Unfortunately, she seems to find this difficult.
In bright orange.
I think whereby communications with Aaliyah's school is concerned, I think there are times when I've fallen short. The teacher is pressed with the curriculum deadlines, so I am always reluctant sometimes to press the teacher for it.
Rule number one when you're dealing with schools is remember one very important thing. They're organisations, they're there to serve your child. They want to make your child success and they want to work with you, and you need to be able to work with them. That's what you need to keep a focus on. Even when things go wrong and you're feeling really angry about something, as things will happen, you know, in life with children as they're going through school, just remember the focus. The relationship and communication is key in the long term to your child's success. It's clear that Andrea could also use some help with communication, so I brought her to the Thames to take charge of a group of rowers.
Keep an eye on that steering with this wind. Just steer to your right, that's it.
On the busy waterway, Andrea has just seconds to make herself understood to the team.
Can you see the red buoy in the distance? You need to be between that and the bank. Can you see the red buoy?
Yep, now see it. Okay, next stroke. Oh, God, I forgot now. Hold on. Next stroke, medium.
Steer this way.
Next stroke, half pressure.
Let's have nice, short, clear communication words that are crisp. easy to understand.
Next stroke, paddle light, go. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is the next 15 half pressure. As you like, go.
Your crew's looking a little bit tired. You need a bit of encouragement.
Come on, boy. We can do it, come on, we can do it.
That's it, you've got them doing the change of pace. That's good, well done.
After a rocky start, Andrea seems to be getting the hang of it.
Backstroke, easy all.
What's starting to happen now, she's realising short, concise communication really is the key, and just what can happen, what she can achieve when she does that. I mean, look at her go.
Stern pair, stern 1 and 2, drop out. Very light, yes, very light. Easy. Command, giving commands. If you're loud and as you say short and sharp and plain, whereby they're clear, they actually get better response.
Imagine if you could do that with school, parents' evenings.
But sometimes the teachers are very pressed for time, and that is the factor.
Yeah, so that's why it's so important that you've got to manage their time when you see them.
Yes.
Back at home, the painting's looking good.
And the Eiffel Tower and the fridges and stuff are, how do you say, they were far away from us.
I like that. I like it. With just 2 days to go before her gallery appearance, I'm still worried about Aaliyah's presentation skills. This is the big crunch point, really, because it's easy to talk about somebody else's painting because you've really had a lot of time to think about that now. But what they'll be really interested in is how well you can get across your ideas about your own painting. Okay, so from the top.
First I didn't know what to start with, but now now I had to start putting it into
It can be hard for children sometimes to put their ideas into words.
Tried it.
Okay, and what did you change about it? A good way of walking them through their talk is by asking them relevant questions.
I changed the background and I changed a few things in the scene.
Ask any artist about their painting, and the painting speaks 1,000 words. So how do you get that in a small space and make it very succinct for the evening? That's the challenge ahead now. The clock is ticking, and I think Aaliyah still needs all the help she can get. But will my last-minute coaching be enough?
I'm very nervous about this evening.
Or could Aaliyah's nerves get the better of her? For the past 2 months, I've been working with Aaliyah Trotman, now 11 years old, to show how simple brain training techniques, which any child can learn, can remedy problem areas and nurture hidden gifts. She's been finding it so hard to get her ideas out that she's falling behind at school, but at the end of today, she's going to present her own version of a Renoir painting to an audience at the National Gallery. To help her pull it off, I've shown her how linking words, music and actions improves the flow of ideas and connectivity in the brain. How to trick the mind into visualising success. And how using colours and shapes to create a photographic image will help her mental recall. But to prove that she's really learnt to get her thoughts out, I want to repeat the challenges she first did 2 months ago.
And the ball and the 2 orange balls are different.
Back then, she found the answer hard to explain. And now?
Because if you put a line through here, they both have their own space.
Yes.
But then if you put a line through here, it wouldn't go, and it will just be halved. So you have to just do a line here.
Well done. And can she express her creative thoughts any better? 2 months ago, Aaliyah only managed to voice 4 ideas of what to do with a cheetah. How will she do with this feather boa?
A tail, a top, baby, a piece of string, jewellery.
Yes, jewellery, why not? Make a bracelet out of it. Today, she comes up with 10 things to do with her prop. Eat it, why not? Her ideas are quicker and clearer. But most importantly, is Aaliyah managing to speak up for herself in the classroom?
She's being more active in class. She's now putting her hands up more and things like that.
She's definitely more communicative than she used to be, which is very pleasing. We feel happy that she engages in class debate and class topic much better than she used to.
It's fantastic news.
Are you then looking forward to talking to the people tonight and telling them about your picture?
But she's still got to bring it all together for the presentation.
I'm very nervous about this evening.
Why?
For somebody like Aaliyah, who their gift isn't in speech and sort of like doing lots of communication and that sort of thing, that's not her thing. Her thing is painting, thinking, non-verbal thinking, lots of ideas, lots of creativity. But to actually stand up there and be counted and shout out loud how brilliant she is, that's a new thing for her. Presenting to an audience at the National Gallery is a daunting prospect for an 11-year-old. It's a tense moment for Andrea. Will her normally shy daughter be able to speak up for herself? There's nothing any of us can do now except will her on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special evening because I have pleasure in announcing what I think is a young artist here, a very talented young lady. Please can we welcome Aaliyah Trotman.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Aaliyah Trotman and I'm 11 years old. Pierre-Auguste Renoir painted this picture. He lived from 1841 to 1919 and he was an impressionist painter. I like this picture because of the boat, the river and the sparkles on the river. And I've done one in my own version. Instead, I put cereal on the boat to make it look like barnacles. I have 3 people instead of 2. I put an Eiffel Tower in the middle, and I put shops here and villages here, and then hills behind the shops and the villages, and then mountains on top of the hills.
Well done. Aaliyah has expressed herself brilliantly, but now can she handle the questions?
Can you tell me, why did you put 3 people in the boat instead of 2?
Because I want it to look like a romantic evening, and in Paris, they usually have 2 people in the boat and then they have a sailor.
So what paint material did you use? Acrylics?
Yeah, I used acrylics
very good
and
too,
watercolours.
yeah.
Why did you put shops in there?
Well, I want it to feel like there's the poor side and then that's the kind of rich side.
Success. At just 11 years old, Aaliyah has pulled off her first public engagement and her audience is impressed.
She's like a bit grown up, isn't she? She was more a child when in the studio. Now she's not.
I liked it because it's her own idea and that I like the woman and the boat is really good.
Because their eyes.
It's been a revelation for Mum Andrea. She wasn't sure that Aaliyah could do it.
Well, I was amazed because at first I thought at the beginning she might be nervous, but it seems that, she lost the nervousness before she even started, so she really did well and I'm pleased with her. I think her confidence has really excelled these last 3 months.
I felt like this is my first time, so take it easy on me.
Absolutely delighted for Aaliyah because she relaxed and it all came out right. You have to coach, be supportive, and then just let them fly. It's a bit like having stabilisers on a bike. They don't need them at some point, so just pull back, and tonight she flew. She didn't need the stabilisers anymore. She was off there on her own, and she did tremendously well. I'm so proud.
I felt nervous a bit. And then I felt confident.
With her artistic talent and newfound ability to express her ideas, Aaliyah's future looks like a bright one. Now my search is on to unearth more hidden gifts in other children using simple brain training techniques you can try with your own child at home.
לרדת מהגולן או